think I left my glasses in my room. Oh no, they're right there. Okay, I'm back. I'm calmed down. I get excited talking about the Holy Spirit because I feel honored that, you know, that the Most High, the Creator of all things, would want me to be a part of His plan. I'm just a humble person from Patterson, New Jersey. I just keep life simple. I ain't trying to be, I'm not trying to be, you see this little earring right here? Janet Jackson rhythm, Janet Jackson used to wear a key on her. So I decided to put a key on my ring for now. It's too big. I might put a smaller one on. She said that's how she used to keep the key on her earring. Wasn't a fashion statement. It's just that was the key to the animal cages. So anyway, okay, okay. Took me a year to find my glasses. But what do I want to talk about? Oh, yes, Beef Watch. Black folks are having a meltdown over the Supreme Court. Now, in Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, which we love quoting, we want people to be judged on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. So all they gotta do is draw lines according to poverty to make sure that people on lower income are represented. That's really all. We need to get rid of this race thing. But we gotta keep certain things in place. We gotta act. So if they act up, we got lawyers on call. Okay? We're cleaning up. It's cleaning up. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. The only people that are nervous are the devils. The people that want to keep us in poverty, people that want to keep us, down. They're nervous because they don't know how to just function on their credentials. And I was telling my husband, I said, Katanji, Justice Katanji Brown, I think it's Brown, right? She, y'all just don't understand when we're the first, the only. If you don't have a strong sense of self, okay? I worked with someone that was like a Katanji, married to a Caucasian, you know. I don't think they had kids together. I think she had kids from her previous marriage and he had kids from his previous marriage. So they didn't have mixed kids, but you know, when you look at white skin as better and look at yourself as less than, and you embrace that. Now we can't help how we respond to trauma, or as a child. And she's a dark skinned woman. I don't know what the journey is because I'm neither light nor dark. I'm 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 light skinned if I'm around certain people. I'm dark skinned if I'm around others. I'm just there. So I don't understand. So one of my son's friends asked my husband, "What does it feel like to be light skinned?" And that was the day where it just rang on me. What our darker sisters go through. And Katanji, girl, just calm down. You're smart. You didn't get there being a dummy, but you got to stop. You got to stop the dumbness. Okay, you too bright. You probably the most qualified on that Supreme Court. At least she was a judge. At least she was a judge. I say judges and professors make good Supreme Court justices. Okay, because it's a lot about interpreting the law. You're not supposed to create law. You're supposed to strike laws down if they violate the Constitution. The goal is not to violate the Constitution. That's all the Supreme Court is, the checks and balances. But we got to put something in there when the court gets out of hand. We got when they start violating the that's what we don't have. I gotta look it up because I don't know of any Supreme Court justice a lifetime appointment. I think that should be looked into. Um, I don't think it should be a lifetime appointment. Um, I think there should be a committee to watch them. Like who watches the Supreme Court? Like the Supreme Court watches everything else. The actions of the legislator and the president, the executive branch. But I don't. Who's watch? Who balances? I don't know. That's a good thing. I mean, through the ethic, is there a federal ethics committee for judges, for federal judges and Supreme Court? I don't know because I know on a state level, judges are monitored through the ethics committee. But that's a good thing for me to research. That's a good thing. See, we're learning now. Thank God for the internet. We're learning that we all don't think alike. Not all white people think alike. Not all black people think alike. We bring to the table our experiences, our beliefs, everything to the table. Even when we become judges, we're supposed to not be biased, but there are biases. You could see it in the synthesis. And it takes a very mature, highly emotionally intelligent judge not to base uh, their opinions or their actions on their own personal bias. But I don't think that I don't see that case as a problem. I gotta download the opinion. I gotta download the opinion. I gotta get the opinion. But I would like to read. I would like to read every. I would like to read this. I love reading both. You know, I like reading the dissent. Just to know. It's good to know the other argument, how other people feel about stuff. But Katanji, girl, trust yourself. You ain't, girl. Don't be scared of these black folks. You know what I'm saying? Don't you ain't got to be all liberal and all this stuff. You know what you do. You don't owe nobody nothing. You don't owe the Democratic Party anything. You are a judge. You're there. You're capable. So, girl, stop it. Let's see, Supreme Court. Supreme Court website. So I can get the opinion. I want your findings. Let's see. Let me bookmark this. Yeah, I'm in the right. Let me bookmark this. Let's see. Oh, those for oral arguments. Okay, I need your opinions. Okay, docket or filing, electronic filing, rule guidance, Supreme Court bar, opinions. Here we are. Opinions of the courts. Oh, I forgot the name of the case. Hold up. Let's see, what's the name of the case? I forgot. Okay, Louisiana versus. Okay, here we are. Okay, I need to print this. How many pages is it? And the law clerk, it's mainly the law clerks that write these opinions. The law clerk. that's what we. That's what we do. We do all the research, and we the law clerks too, right? So, and then they just look over it. Okay, so I'll print that out. Read that. That would be some good reading to go over that. I see Brian Carr was sentenced to 9 months, and he has 45 days to turn himself in. Pam S. Wait, Pam Esquire Intellect or something like that. Go to her channel. She did great coverage on it. It's unfortunate. I know it looks like a lot of black people are being held accountable. Well, let me tell you something. We have to be twice as good, twice as clean. Twice we got we're under great scrutiny, okay? Because they don't want you there. They don't want you to have wealth, and I'm saying they, the powers that be, don't want you to have wealth. Don't want you to. So you got to do it God's way. You got to really do it God's way. You can't. You can't. You got to have high moral character to be. The higher you go, the cleaner you got to. You got to be clean. It's sad. It's sad, but that people don't realize that. And you got to understand. Look, Generation X, we're the first one to walk into the promised land. You know what I'm saying? We're the Joshua generation. And we weren't supposed to get over here in the promised land and act like the devil. We weren't supposed to. We weren't supposed to. We got the pride of life, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, the love of money, not having money, the love and worship of money has gotten people in trouble. Trying to be more than what they are, trying to live above their means. Okay? It's very stressful. And then you start doing things to maintain the lifestyle. I remember my first house that I lost. The first house. And you know why I lost it? Being too nice. Not collecting my legal fees up front. Getting sick and having to take care of sick mom. But it was okay. It was okay because that was a learning thing. I will never lose another house. People say never. No, God taught me I don't have to lose another house. I don't. I learned from that experience, and I could still have that, but God gave me a house better, better, and it's more suitable for me because I'm older now. I need space, in case you get sick, you need to be able to move a wheelchair. Yeah, your rooms should be on the first floor. Got to be a ranch style. It's a ranch with an upstairs, a loft area, a whole nother apartment upstairs. Instead of having a basement, I have upstairs. And my house is the only one with this model. So it was just waiting for me. It was the first house when my realtor took me out. It was the first house on the list, and I loved it. And I loved it. We looked at 3 houses in the subdivision, and they building the rest of it out. But I loved it, and I love my house. I do. I appreciate it. It's a nice space. I prayed over it. Everybody can't come to my house. I prayed. I prayed. I invited several people, and they never show. They never come, or they can't come because I prayed. I prayed. If you come across that threshold, you're a good person. No enemies can come around here. No snakes. No jealous people. Nothing. But anyway, yeah. So you learn, and it's okay. It's okay. Do not be ashamed. Do not let the devil or people shame you because you had to file bankruptcy, or if you had to lose a house. Or I don't know. I don't understand people sitting up here going through court documents about people finances. If you're happy, if you're truly happy, that there's so many other things to report about. There's so many other things to focus on. You know what I'm saying? That you don't have to focus. You don't have to focus on other people. You know, only stupid people. People don't understand bankruptcy is there to restructure. You know what I'm saying? It can keep the creditors at bay while you restructure. People are so stupid. They don't know these are tools rich folks use. But they want to shame you. They want to shame people because either they had an eviction, or if they had a foreclosure, or they filed bankruptcy. I'm telling you, what they say, small minds. What they say, hold up, what's the saying go? Small minds, small minds. Okay, let me get this quote. It says, great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. It's one thing you talking about a person to learn a lesson. But it's another thing to gossip. Where you take delight in people fall. Like, you're giddy about it. Like, y'all are not scared of karma. Y'all not scared of karma. People that have done nothing to you. Nothing, but you want to report about their financial, and you so wonderful. You so Tell us about your personal life. Tell us about your divorce. Tell us your real name. Tell us about Spill your own tea. That's the only thing I like about Tasha K. Tasha K will tell you about somebody. There's a lesson. Then she'll give you tips about health, and then she'll spill her own tea. But yeah, I'm done. I'm trying to get these watch hours up. I think I'm gonna go into my other account because I had an AdSense account that I think I can link. I thought this channel was linked to it, but honey, those watch hours are very slow. They just creeping up there. And my channel is not very interesting because there's no F-ish on here. But I'm done. I'm done. Remember, this is from Eleanor Roosevelt. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. I'm done.